who joined me down at the bite indication end of the setup. And for Kudos tackle, I've been using these bits for pieces for the last sort of 8 to 10 months. I've got to say what a fantastic range they've got. And it works for sort of 90% of my fishing what I've got set up here. Now, on these two rods I have got a completely different sort of bite indication setup, but both using the pureglows. Now the pureglows will take an isotope, different sort of chains, fully customizable to your setup basically. I'm a bit of a purple fetishist, purple alarms, purple snag ears, purple, it's a thing. So let's excuse that and we'll move on with what we're doing. So where I am fishing at the moment is reasonably close in, sort of 10-11 rod lengths out. To me, obviously that's close, I would call that a close fishing situation. So the setup here reflects that. I'm semi-slack, probably tighter than some people would call semi-slack. But what I've got is sort of 3 to 4 inch drop on the bobbin, and what that allows to do is obviously register forward movement, but actually will still take the drop back. The beauty of these bobbins is because they've set up by me sort of, and the guys at Kudos to exactly what I want for my fishing. It takes into consideration the line that I'm using and the distance I would fish specifically for these bobbins, and it means that it won't, they're not super heavy, so when you clip them on they pull the line tight, etc, etc. A perfectly balanced setup where every sort of movement is reflected in the bobbin head, and that's down to the magnetic clip inside. Completely line safe, knit your line through, get a really positive click that you know that everything's locked down and in position. But they will, if they strike that blank really hard, they will pop off and drop away. But it does have to be a sort of sizable whack, if you like. So a savage line is not going to do it, but a run that goes and goes, and as it bounces back and forth, hits it, will drop off, and then you go straight into that free running situation where it's coming off the drag system. Now, in complete sort of different style to that, I've got a bowstring tight setup. I'm fishing a zig out there, and yet again you can see just how responsive that is. That's a few tweaks which, with a 3 ounce lead that's out in the lake there, that would bounce around all day long. But obviously there's enough weight in that head to still, when you do get those drop backs, like I had on the 31 common yesterday, as it dropped back it will follow through the weight through. And that's all balancing up the chains and the bobbins, and there's a lot of thought that does need to go into your sort of setup. And then on the third rod I'm fishing just literally sort of 5-6 yards out. Shouldn't probably be talking as loud as I am. And what that is that set up on quite a slack thing, because I'm just down a shelf and I'm at the bottom of the shelf. I'm quite confident that whichever way they flow, they'll move. But yet again, still, if that was to come towards me, I will still get movement on that bobbin. It's just enough of that drop of that head to give me that measurement. Now, as I obviously I'm talking about everything being close range. When I am further afield, I'm using these old school chunky heads. Yet again, take an isotope at the bottom, same magnetic clip, but they're a weightier head. And then simply just screw off all the fittings, obviously made to match what my setup is, as you can set up with Kudos. Unscrew, screw them on, and for anywhere in fishing tightline situations, especially in France, where I'm out in the lakes, or when I'm fishing up to snags and want to be bowstring tight with a good weight to get that drop really, really quick at long range, these bobbins then come into play. Yet again, exactly the same purple sort of colouring, because that's the setup I want to go with. But the thing with Kudos is there is something for everyone, customisable things. We've also got the snag ears on for the Delkins with the purple tops on and the carbon sleeve wraps, and then yet again bobbins integrate into them as well. So you can create a completely customisable solution with everything that you want for your kit available from Kudos Tackle.